Connor, you got it.
Oh, okay, sounds good. All right.
Connor.
I had one thought of earlier, and now I can't remember it. Shit, what was it? It was a good one too. Fuck, I don't know. Forgetting the intro to the Vox Cascadia podcast. It's the Vox Cascadia podcast.
That's, I mean,
on point, like on brand, you know, like.
Was that like a Tyler impression? Like an impression of Tyler when he's put on the spot?
For sure, absolutely.
Sure, we'll go with that.
That was accurate. Like, don't put me on the spot.
Oh, it was getting hyped for Andor Season 2, because I know I am, and Chuck, I imagine you are too. That's what I had, because I've been watching the trailer for that, like 20 minutes ago.
What do you think? I'm some kind of nerd or something?
Yes.
I watch Star Wars?
Yes.
Is that Star Trek? I don't know.
Don't be a fucking liar. Tyler's not a Star Wars guy, but I know you and Nick are, and I just found out the trailer dropped for it.
I've heard Andor is pretty good.
It's very good.
Andor is super good. Andor in itself, not even as a Star Wars show. Tyler, I know you don't like Star Wars.
I mean, like, I've watched all of the recent Star Wars stuff, so, like, you know, like, I watch it. I just, like, have my gripes with it.
Have you watched Andor, then?
I haven't, though.
You have to watch, like I said, Andor as a, like, show itself is just really good, and it happens to take place in the Star Wars universe, which I think is what most of the Star Wars shows should be. It shouldn't be like the Skywalker saga, as much as I love Skywalkers.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that. It should be basically like, this is a thing that's happening. And that's why season 1 of Mandalorian was so good.
Yeah, because it was just like a Western in Star Wars.
I mean, Star Wars is a Western.
True. But
like, hands down, like, as a genre, it is first and foremost a Western.
Yeah, so you should add the Wire. With the Wire, you should add Andor to your list of things that you need to watch.
Thankfully, Andor is only 12 episodes, and they go by pretty quick, and they're also digestible in like 3-episode arcs, which is even better.
Sounds good. You know, I mean, like, I don't binge shows, so yeah, Andor will probably slide in before the Wire.
That's fair. Plus, we get Andy Serkis. He did such a good job acting as monkeys and monsters for so many years. They finally allowed him to be a person again.
Yeah, he's is he? Did they show him in the trailer? I didn't see if he was.
No,
back.
He's probably not back. I don't know. Well, he's in it, and he does a fantastic job, and probably one of the best like Star Wars scenes of all time, which is really cool.
Yeah, I Andor is amazing, so I definitely recommend it. Jenna watched it with me, and she really liked it. And she's not a Star Wars person or a fantasy person or anything other than like RuPaul's Drag Race and Love Is Blind person. So this is a Kill Team podcast.
I was gonna derail us with Love Is Blind because I saw you guys were posting stuff about that.
Yeah, spoiler, Tyler. Thank you.
I mean, have you caught up yet at this point?
I know we're in the middle of episode 5. Actually,
I
we
can't
still
even
have like a whole episode and a half of pods left.
Absolutely, I mean, like, Dave is the worst, man.
I mean, I could have told you from the first 10 seconds.
From the first 10 seconds. I mean, like, the first second he popped into the pod, he was horrible.
When Dave jumps in and he's like, "How old are you?" and she's like, 30, and he's like, "Oh, so you're used up now."
Yeah, absolutely. He's like, "So what's wrong with you?"
Whoa, how old's Dave?
33
he's 30.
or something.
Oh, yeah. Dave, come on.
He's like a medical device salesman, which like makes him like egotistical and like sound smart because he can like sound doctorish, but he's not a fucking doctor.
Yeah, he just sells the devices. Like, important
Absolutely.
job, but you're just a middleman.
No, he's just a salesman, man. It's not even that important. He's just a scumbag, you know.
Yeah, he sells Q-tips. He sells really expensive Q-tips.
Oh,
absolutely.
Not even cool.
That's probably what he does. So, hey guys, how you doing?
I'm good. It's been a good week, you know. Like, we had this tournament this weekend. It was incredible. Like,
Tyler, last week I either saw or talked to you, I think, more other than like CritCon week than I have ever, because we talked on Tuesday for Vox Cascadia. I saw you on Wednesday.
Didn't we have a meeting Monday also?
We had a meeting Monday. Yeah, I forgot that. We had a meeting Monday with Dan. We talked on Vox Cascadia on Tuesday. Wednesday, I saw you and Dan out at the distillery. And then Friday, we set up the tournament. Saturday, we played the tournament.
Yeah.
Like, I saw you more than Jenna last week, actually, honestly.
No, same. I think I hung out with you more than my partner. It was amazing, though. I love seeing you. I felt incredibly close with you. You know, like, it was great. Love hanging out with you, dude.
Yeah, it was super fun, and no Connor, so that made it even nicer. I'm kidding, buddy. I'm kidding. We missed you. We
were missed. Although he would have been in the wind a quarter of the drinking session in
Oh yeah,
on Saturday.
yeah. We'll get to that. We're gonna
Ah.
recap our tournament. So that's part of the reason that I saw Tyler so much. So Connor, while Tyler and I were path try to path for the future of Kill Team Cascadia and
Hmm.
CritCon, what
Hmm.
were you doing last week?
Um, tanks. So many tanks. We're gonna have actually. I'm gonna finish writing it up tonight. A Patreon post. So if you're a patron, you'll see it there first. But I'm
Oh
doing a
wow.
little Connor's series to Adepticon thing. So I've been working on a bunch of tanks and a bunch of Kriegs.
Okay. All right. I'm excited. Like I can't wait to see all your Titanicus tanks. I assume.
Yes, I've got
Cool.
shit. Just had the count. I've got at least like 25 tanks.
25 tanks is a lot of
I've
tanks.
got 2 planes, some knights, and then a bunch of little ad mechanicum robots.
So that's like what, like half of a kill team's worth of painting?
Oh, I wish. No, it's a lot because like it. I'll say like 2 tanks is probably like one Kriegsman size type thing.
Okay, okay.
But
Do you have infantry units?
for one of the days I do. For the Friday, I've been doing one where it's infantry, but I believe on Thursday is the day where I'm going all vehicles only. It's kind of a fun one, which is why I was excited to try it. Where it's like literally only knights, titans, tanks, and planes.
So you're all in on Titanicus now.
Yes, I've always kind of enjoyed it, and I've just realized, you know what? I've had it for so long, and this looked like a good time to play. So I'm fully investing in Legions Imperialis. So if you have any interest in playing that, and you listen to this podcast, and you're in the area, even down in Oregon, let me know. We'll get a game in.
So wait, is it Titanicus or Legions Imperialis? Isn't this two different games?
They are 2 different games, but they're the same scale, and there's a lot of like model follow up. Like Titanicus models are used in Imperialis, but
So
it's Imperialis is the technical game I'm playing.
you're playing Imperialis. Okay, because Dan Osborne, who the Dan that we hung out with a couple times last week. Actually, we talked Dan on Monday, saw Dan on Wednesday, and then we saw him on Friday night too. So I had a lot of Dan last week too. Actually, I had more Dan than I did Jenna even too. Oh,
You're a
well,
terrible partner.
I really am actually. So I
Sorry, Jenna.
popped in there on Friday night before we went and set up the tournament and said, "Hey, love you. Here's my dog. Don't let him die, and I'll see you on Sunday afternoon." I'm
Did
gonna
Indy
go.
make it?
Yeah, yeah, dude.
Whew.
I wouldn't be here if he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I figured you'd be in a much more depressed mood.
Yeah, it'd be like breaking news. My dog died. Yeah. So that's been the podcast. I'm gonna go keep drinking. No, no. Indy's great. Jenna is a great mom to Indy. So yeah, but yeah. Dan's gonna be playing. Actually, I think he's playing Titanicus actually at Adepticon is what he said. So Connor, how many games are you playing in now? You said tonight you got your tickets.
Yes.
So you got your plane tickets and you got your
Hmm.
game tickets. So what do you remind me one more time what you're playing now?
I'm
And
playing 2 games. I'm doing Kill Team and Legions Imperialis, and then I'm doing the 2-day session, the actual Kill Team like tournament thing. And then Thursday I'm doing Imperialis, and Friday I'm doing Imperialis.
you're all in on Vanguard.
Yes. I'm bringing those in 2 weeks to Sean's event.
All right, cool. Yeah, I can't believe it's 2 weeks to that event. That's wild
That's
to me.
crazy. It's crazy. I'm not I haven't even booked my hotel room. I should have, but I
No,
haven't.
I sent you that link, right? There's
Yeah,
a
the prices haven't really changed. I've been looking, like it's just I keep going, "Oh, maybe I'll find a better place," and like I just need to book it.
yeah. You need to bite the bullet, buddy, or you're gonna end up like, or it's gonna like spike up because they're gonna be like, oh whoa, Kill Team's come to town. We need to raise these prices. So you know how it is when Kill Team shows up. Everybody's like, they got to try and get their little cut of it. So their pound of flesh or whatever that means. But yeah,
Oh,
so
spicy, deep cut there, my friend.
deep cut. Those who know. Anyways, that tournament's in 2 weeks, but this past Saturday we had a tournament of our own, the Double Duty Demolition Derby Team Tournament, hosted by Board Bard Games in I think it's Southeast Portland. Montevilla is what it's called. And Curtis and Board Bard was nice enough to host us, and the tournament went awesome. And I am looking forward to actually doing more tournaments at Board Bard. I think
Oh man,
board,
it was a blast.
they're
It was so good. They were such a generous host, and like the vibe was great. Having all of the bars and food next door, being able to pop out and pop in, especially if you had a fast round because you made some dumb mistakes because you had a couple drinks at the bar next door between rounds. Like it was great.
Yeah, as much as I love Shiv, Shiv's a little farther from me, and the Little Caesars and the Subway that are next to it aren't exactly the like ranch pizza. And I don't even remember the name of the place we ended up at the end of the night, but some really good old fashions. Old fashions, right? Yeah, old fashions. I get those in
They,
Manhattan's confused.
I think they called them fancies because they were made with rum. I want to say. I think it was a rum kind of week.
Well, yeah, actually, because when we went out to uh, what's it called? I can't remember the name of it's just rum, just
Just
rum,
rum, just
literally just rum.
rum. Yeah.
They made us some old fashions out there that were actually like with
Yeah.
rum, and they were that was I don't know if you had the old fashioned. I had the old fashioned. It was
hmm
super good out there.
it was so good. I got there a little bit before everyone because traffic was just flowing for me on the way out there, and so I had to drink before everyone arrived, and then another when y'all showed up, and then Robert took us through that whole flight too of just their rum, which was amazing. I had a really good time.
Yeah. So for just to fill you all in, we're looking at doing a tournament in April out in Sandy, Oregon, which sounds like it's out in the middle of nowhere, and it kind of is, but it's actually not that far from Portland, maybe 20-30 minutes. So we were scouting the place. Robert, who's one of the I think he was one of the owners, or he works
He's the
there.
Senate of Ordo.
He's a
Or
Senate of Ordo Fanaticus, which is a
Mhm.
big 40K centric kind of clubhouse here in Portland. But we met him. I met him at CritCon at least, and he was running Pathfinder there. He's got a podcast, a Pathfinder podcast actually too, and invited us to come out and check out his distillery. So I think we're gonna probably do like a kind of a bespoke tournament actually in maybe April out in Sandy, Oregon. We don't have the details all locked in, but Tyler, do you want to hype it up just a little bit? What we're thinking about?
Yeah, we're looking at doing kind of an all inclusive. So it'll get you a 21 plus event, and then you get a meal, kind of a flatbread pizza, and then two drinks, and then a 3 round tournament. And it's kind of a social setting. So we're going to be playing out in the distillery. They do kind of a colonial style rum, so that's what you would be drinking if you were a pirate back in the day. So we're going to kind of lean into the rum factor of it and have a good time. It's going to be a real good event, real relaxed, just about like getting the community together, having a good time, eating some good food, drinking some drinks, and socializing. So we can't wait to see y'all out there. It should be a really really fun time.
Now, Tyler, I don't know about you, but when you say rum to me, being the cultured man that I am, I think Malibu or Captain Morgan's. But the rums we had out there were not like that. It felt like I didn't realize rum could
For
actually be that
sure.
good. I thought it was just kind of like
I
a drink that you put
I'll
an umbrella
I'll
in
be
and give to
honest. I'm a
Connor.
rum hater. Yeah, like I'm not a huge rum guy. I've had some bad times with some rum. You know, I think we all have once you're an adult.
I've never had
And
bad rum times.
oh, whew, okay, rum can be rough, you know, and it's really it can be real sugary. And this is pretty straightforward. I liked it, you know. Uh, I enjoyed it. I don't think I'm a connoisseur by any means, but I'm selective. I think it meets the stuff and it's worth checking out.
I don't know. That was I was kind of like turned on my head about actually about how good it was. Like some of it was like they had barrel aged stuff. They had stuff
For
where they
sure.
did I don't know. They put the sticks. They put the aged wood basically in it rather than doing barrel aged. But yeah, it was super good. I'm excited to try it. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
You know, I had a couple drinks out there and they were all excellent. So,
yeah.
and
So
staff was incredible, beyond just Robert. So I think y'all would have a good time. So we wouldn't host an event there if we didn't think we could, as a group, have a real good, enjoyable time. So,
yeah, and I think we're nailing down dates and logistics with them, and maybe have it announced in the next week or two to give you all time to make plans for it. Probably looking towards the end of April though. So but yeah, let's recap the last tournament. Now, Connor, you did not make it to this tournament, unfortunately. So um
No, I
you're
did
the
not.
one, you get to run us through this. You get to be the douchey version of Chuck that you've always wanted to be,
Yes.
and you can go turn by turn or round by round and recap. We'll recap it for you. Okay, so you take it over.
Okay, so first of all, it was a team tournament. Chuck, we all know who you're going with. You're obviously going with our good friend Nick. But Tyler, who did you end up playing with?
I was playing with Bean. Like
Nice.
we had some plans to play together from the beginning. We'd actually applied for a golden ticket for this event, but we never got it. So if it was a golden ticket, I would have probably grinded a little bit harder for this event. But it turned out not to be one, so we decided just to have some fun. So he brought 10 goats, and I brought Hand of the Archon.
Nice. A good mix of melee evil dudes. So you love to
Yep.
see it. Chuck, what
Yep.
about you?
So I've been loving the Total Recca Supremacy after LVO. I think I'm pretty positive that's going to be my team for the Cascade Clash coming up in 2 weeks, as well as Adepticon. But it was a team tournament, and Nick, and I don't even know, Tyler, did you get a chance to even see Nick's Rekkas? Nick brought Rekkas, and I
I
brought
did.
Commandos. We went full Orky because since I couldn't play Rekkas and Nick worked on his. They We need to get some pictures of them because they're fantastic. They look like
Amazing.
they're like reclaimed Imperial Fist armor actually on the Rekkas that he did. So they
Yep.
were
Absolutely. His yellow was immaculate.
um and just to give you a little context about Nick and his preparation for the tournament. So he spent many weeks working on painting the guys, with me being like sending him basically a calendar reminder every day saying like we've got this many days left, so he would actually continue to do it and stay on it. And so in that, he didn't really get much time to prepare for the tournament, and his first game with the Rekkas was game 1 on Saturday. So while I was trying to like figure out the commandos, Nick was like, fuck it, Rekka
Didn't
points.
didn't he like destroy like overall?
No,
He did pretty good.
spoiler, he actually went 3-1. So
Very solid. Very solid
yeah.
mix. Like he found a team he jives with. He just gets it. It sounds like.
You just got to roll sixes. It's that easy.
Well, I mean, the thing is, that's the thing with Rekkas. If you get a couple sixes, you've got a couple more hits, and then everything is like almost all of their every shooting weapon they have is 6 dice. So there's a good chance you're going to get a 6 at least, and then those 6s are going to carry over into other 6s, and they can be pretty tough. And he went 3-1, and he actually I only went, spoiler alert, I only went 2-2 actually. So he actually did better than I did. Now, maybe that was because I was the team captain and I made sure he had the best matchups, or maybe that was just because Nick is like a Rekka savant, and we're seeing like we're gonna see the next like Chris Baki or the next like Jimmy Kelly coming out of the Northwest in Nick Nick.
Oh, I'd love to see that. That
That
would
would
be
be amazing.
that would be like like a rags to riches story. Like we've never seen. Like he just started out as like a humble painter, and like all of a sudden he's world champion or something.
I mean, he's still a humble painter. He still doesn't like think his stuff's any good, and it's
For
some of the
sure.
best stuff we have in the community. But I mean,
It
his first tournament was the Blunt Force Beatdown last year, and he went 0-4 with Crute. So that was the start of his tournament scene, and now he's signed up for a couple more tournaments, and he's gonna bring that Total Record Supremacy to not only the Mount Vernon area, but to Milwaukee for the pods in Adepticon.
I think that's going to be really, really good. I can't wait to see how he does. So, good
4
luck,
0
Nick.
there, I believe.
We believe in you. You can do it. Don't let us down.
So you kind of spoiled Chuck that Nick apparently did real well. But tell
Well,
me, how was.
Because Tyler set it up like that. It wasn't me.
Well, you could have just stayed quiet. But in the meantime, tell us, how was the first round for you and Nick? Who'd you guys end up playing?
Yeah, so the first round for Nick and I, we went up against actually Brandon Ramo and Colton. Actually, you know Colton. Colton, I guess apparently you trained Colton.
Yeah, he's someone from up in our area, so I was able to get some games with him a long time ago. But it's been some time since I've played him.
Yeah, he actually mentioned you by name, and he listens to the podcast too, I guess too. So
Hell
hey
yeah,
Colton.
Colton. Thanks, buddy.
Um, but we ended up our team name was by round, which Nick chose, and we were hoping we could get a just somebody to think they had a buy, and we could skip out from having to play people. So our first round, we went into the Gorge Guardians, which was Colton Baker and Brandon Ramo from Vancouver, a guy I play with up here pretty often. I matched up with Colton, and it was my commandos on Into the Dark against Mono Blades Kane. So it went pretty rough for Colton, needless to say. So I won that one 21-5. Nick ended up actually playing Brandon as Hurricane Jaegers against Nick's Wrecker Crew. Nick lost 9-14, and they really only got to about the third round. Maybe because Nick hadn't ever played the team before. Could that be it, Nick? I told you to get some games in. Anyways, you still crushed. But no, it was fun. Colton was a great opponent. Like Blades Kane, they need a 3-up save. They have like 0 staying power, and essentially we run into the dark. There was a long hallway, and I opened the door and put my rocket guy on guard, and he tried me, and he ate like 6 rocket shots. I rolled pretty good and like just popped a scorpion like first second activation or something. So it kind of went downhill from there. But I think I maybe tabled him right at the end with his leader. So, but I was doing surveillance, so I had to let his leader live so I could do the cheesy surveillance with it. So
That's rough. That's rough. I think Blades of Cain are good. Obviously, they're tricky, but they just need a little bit more. Like Hand of the Archon needs a little bit more. I've really determined after this weekend. I love them. I've really put in the effort with them, but I think they just lack a little bit. First round though was against Keaton and Vesper. I was playing with Brandon Bean. It was really good. Keaton is a longtime listener and buddy online. We chat all the time, and so we finally got a matchup in, and it was a wonderful matchup. I won that round. It was just a good time, just 2 buddies getting in a game. So
Nice, that's good to hear. And then I imagine Brandon was able to take down Vesper too. It looks like, looking at the record.
yeah, absolutely. So it was just like a pretty solid game for us. I think that Brandon and I have a little bit more experience than them. They were wonderful opponents, though. I had a blast. It was just all around good time.
Oh yeah, that's great to hear. And like you said, Keaton, longtime listener, so thank you, buddy. You're always there to like every post and story one of us puts up, so always appreciative of that. So it looks like you guys both 1-0 for the first round. What about your second round there, Chuck? Who'd you guys go up against that time?
So my second round, actually, we ended up against Emperor's New Groove, which was Andy Bailey and Max Fleming. Andy was on Illicidian Starstriders, and Max was on Higher Tech Circle. And here's where the team name that Nick chose for us, and we never found anything. We never even thought about doing anything better. Here's what came into play, because round 2 is after our lunch. We do round 1, lunch, round 2. Well, Andy and Max looked at the pairings and saw buy round.
Oh my god.
And almost actually like had another beer at lunch and like hung out because they thought they didn't have to play. So they showed up and let us know about that. And
that's amazing.
I mean, I would have felt horrible if they would have showed up like an hour into it, like sauced, and we're like, "Oh God, I'm so sorry, what happened?" But it was kind of funny that I feel like it went exactly the way it should have, where they kind of thought it was a thing, so we can talk about it, but didn't actually like fuck up and like miss a game because of our name.
Okay, well that's good. Out of curiosity, their name, Emperor's New Groove. Have either of you seen that movie?
Duh, come on.
I've never seen it actually.
Oh, I mean, have I seen Emperor's New Groove? Come on. I'm gonna put that box in a box. I'm gonna mail it to myself. And I'm gonna smash it with a hammer. Okay.
I mean, I'm just saying, you're like way older than me apparently, so I wasn't sure if you've seen the movie.
Of course, I've seen Emperor's New Groove. Emperor's New Groove is amazing.
Yeah, poison for Cusco.
The Cusco poison, especially for Cusco. Cusco's poison.
Poison.
My favorite part about that movie is actually when Kronk is just like being stealthy and like he's like up against the wall and people are just walking past him like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You're 7 feet tall.
He's a sneaky guy, man.
Also,
It's that
pull the
easy.
lever, Kronk.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I was just seeing if you'd seen it yet.
Yeah, absolutely. So, um, let's see. So that game, those games. So my game with Andy was I won 18-11, but I think it was closer than that. Star Striders still kind of have the same issue where they're going to come out and nuke a couple of your guys on turn like two, 2 and maybe start a turn 3, but then you kill a couple of those guys. And actually, he didn't realize he was behind light terrain on the Volcus map. We played open board, and he was on light terrain, kind of in his deployment zone, and didn't realize it. And actually, he moved a guy up into light, and I jumped up my rocket guy and killed his what is it?
The
Lecturemeister.
priest guy.
Yeah. Killed him before like he could do anything with him. So he was kept down.
Rude. How dare
Yeah,
you? You targeted because he was an AdMech guy, and I'd complain about that, didn't you?
I didn't actually know that at the time, but now I now it just feels even better. So no, so but then he then brought one of his voidsmen up and like just nuked from orbit my rocket guy. So I feel like it was a good trade. So because then the voidsman ended up getting killed. So and then Nick actually went on open. No, he went on Into the Dark against Higher Tech Circle, and he won 18-6. So I know Higher Tech Circle's been pushed back quite a bit. I don't really know what's happened to them, but I've heard they're not great. But Nick, like 1-1 now with the Rekka crew in 2 games ever played. So I feel like that was a great result, and we won overall 36-17 and undefeated through 2 rounds.
Well done, Tyler. Were you guys able to keep that undefeated streak going for you as well?
We were not.
Ooh.
We ran into Team Zero. What was it? Zero Shooting, which is Ryan and Chris, and they're both incredible players from the Vancouver area. I was paired up against Chris with the Corsairs, and Brandon was playing agents, inquisitorial agents. And so Chris, I forgot that he can do the little teleporty switcheroo, and he got a kill off on the first round, maybe a second one. And when you can't trade 1-for-1 with the other team and they're a little bit better at melee, elf on elf violence is really hard. Right now, I think Hand of the Archon may be the weakest elf team that there is, actually. So
that's wild to me that you've had such a swing, because I feel like you had the biggest boner for your Hand of the Archon, and maybe that was
I
just
love
a
them. They're
pain
fun.
boner.
They just don't deliver. Like there's just they're just a little bit weaker than the other teams. They don't have the action economy. They don't have the movement tricks, stuff like that. They can still do work, especially with hot dice and stuff like that. And if you get initiative, but if you lose initiative, especially at a team that matches you or outnumbers you, it becomes difficult.
So what do you bring into the Cascade Clash then? Is it Hand of the Archon? It's a golden ticket. Are you gonna sweat a little bit?
It's not Hand of the Archon, I'll tell you that.
He's bringing Warp Coven. He's embracing the meta.
Nah, he's bringing Felgor.
Oh God, everyone's gonna have Felgor there, aren't they? Fuck.
Pretty much.
We'll see. We'll see what we bring.
Yeah.
All right, so 2-0 for you, Chuck and Nick. Well done. 1-1 for Tyler and Brandon, Mr. Bean, Mr. Dad, Mr. Kill Team God, 2-time champ, all those titles. So that's a solid matchup. What about round 3 for you, Chuck? Who are you guys going up against now?
So round 3, we went into the Scholar Progenium dropouts with Holly Graham.
Fantastic name, Holly. And
Holly and Nick Herndon. And Holly, Patreon, thank you so much for your support. So we had Holly match up with her Tempestus Aquilons against Nick's Rekka crew, and Nick actually pulled out the win, 15-14. So
ooh, close game.
I think he's got a little PTSD, because he's like, they just kept dropping from the sky. Like all of a sudden they were there and they just dropped down, and you kill one of their normal guys, and then somebody jumps out with a Melta and they just burn you. And so, or they got a melt a bomb. So I think he was like kind of going through it afterwards, but he squeaked out the win. I went against Nick and his Wormblade, and I haven't played Wormblade since, gosh, I haven't played them against them since probably Killscream 2.
Yeah, that's a team you don't see a ton of, but that's a cool team to fight.
Yeah, Nick's a master with them. I only lost by 2, which was surprising to me. I kind of just he got a lot of early kills with me. Like he dropped his uh what is it, the God, what's the stabby guy on that team?
Stabby guy. I'm blanking on the name.
S-
Locust.
No. Um God, it's gonna bug the crap out of me now. Anyways, stabby guy. He did like a strategic round move with him to move him up, and I moved another guy up because I knew I was going to get charged, and I was trying to block it off, and I was like, this is either going to go really well for me or really bad. It went really bad for me. So he then dropped also his shooty guy. I can't remember any of the Wormblade classes.
Kellermorph is the shooty guy. Locust is the stabby guy.
Is it the Locust? No, it's not the Locust. It's the Sanctus.
Oh, the other stabby guy, the Sanctus Talon.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, his Sanctus Talon and his
Kellermorph.
Kellermorph like basically held one side of the board and killed like 4 orcs, and this Weber dropped in right behind them and killed another orc, and
Lots of dead greenskins.
dude, I don't know what it is. Like every strategic phase, he was like, all right, I'm gonna play this, and now my guys have rending, they have ceaseless, they have seek light, they can teleport. I get a guy back. Like they have the most keywords of any team. I swear to God. Every time he was shooting me, he's like, "Okay, this is going to be rending. This is going to be ceaseless. This is going to be. It's also balanced too, because why not? Like that team is like keyword central."
You know, I honestly haven't looked at Wormblade since I lost my Wormblade play buddy Greg. Miss you, buddy.
Yeah, rest in peace.
He's not dead. He was on the
What?
podcast last week.
Yeah,
Oh fuck that. Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Sorry.
you know,
But yes,
Drank a lot.
we do miss you, Greg. And yeah, just looking at really quick through their data cards, yeah, they've got a lot of keywords on those special dudes.
I'm trying to sign into
The app.
battle kit. Actually, no, I got the battle kit on here on there, and yeah, they like. It was crazy. He just like, I swear to God, every time he was like, I'm shooting you, he had like 4 modifiers on his team to for the shooting, and just like landed a million things.
Modifiers are fun, man. That's why I've been having a good time with Vet Guard. Accurate 1, saturate, ceaseless, and like occasionally something else, depending if it's like a special weapon or not. That shit gets good.
Yeah. So I lost by 2. Nick won by 1, so we lost that round, but because of the scoring and how it worked, and I couldn't figure it out, and Tyler's like, this is how it's supposed to be, and so we were still in the hunt for some good placement.
Nice, well done. That's always a good time. I'm glad you were the one to lose and not Nick. Makes me happy.
yeah. Team tournaments are weird because it combines your score versus the other people, stuff like that. You know, like people who also had lost one and won one that round, or margins were very close and stuff like that between the total differential of points and whatnot. Teams are weighted slightly different to give overall results, but taking a look at it, if you look at the results, it's where it should be.
Nice. Tyler, though, how was your round through? Who you and Brandon go up against?
So we ran into Chris and Josh. The next, not Chris and Josh, Sean and Josh.
Oh,
next
nice.
round, which was a rough round there. I'll tell you what. So we partnered off. I got a game in with Sean finally, which long overdue for as long as I've known him. It was great playing you, buddy. It was lost when it was one when I decided to secede initiative because I didn't think he had anything, and I miscalculated one of his charge ranges on something, and it kind of turned the game. Not that it wasn't already going to be incredibly close. I had flubbed a couple rolls, and he had made a couple kills in the turning point there. It was going to make it hard for me to come back. Ultimately, he ended up taking the win, and then I believe Josh blew through Brandon's 10 Zangors pretty fast. So
He only beat him by 3 though. It was 15-12.
yeah, I mean, you know, it's Brandon. Like, you know, whether it was a close game or not, it was still pretty fast overall.
Nice. Sounds like a good game, though. But yeah, Brandon, pretty speedy guy. He's very good at those kill team games.
He's good at those kill team games.
So I've heard.
Yeah. Brandon Bean, you ever heard of him?
Yeah, he's pretty good at kill team. Who would have thought?
Does your mom know him?
I fucking hate you. I don't even have a smart ass reply. I just hate you. Round 4, Chuck. Did you lose?
Yeah, you'll be happy to know that I lost.
Thank God. That's what you get. Karmic balance.
No. So round 4, we went into Team DACA, which, if anybody who's been around the KTC scene knows, that's James Loomis, and Shayla Meadows was there with him too. So I went against James and his clowns, his void dancers, against Commandos, which was surprising to me how, like, I don't know, James maybe hasn't been keeping up on Commandos, because I swear to God he played Commandos for a long time. I mean, his team name's Team DACA. But I lost him by 2 points, and it basically, and actually the game with Nick previously, with Nick Herndon, actually came. I would have tied Nick had I got off a successful crack grenade shot in the second to last activation. But then same thing with James. The game came down. We played it Into the Dark, and the game basically came down to if one of my orc boys could tank a Death Jester shot. My orc boy could not tank the Death Jester shot. No, Oof. He did not. He got obliterated. I even had my Just a Scratch in my pocket, but it didn't matter. And so he beat me by 2. Nick beat Shayla 19-12 against the Rekka crew. Rekka crew versus her Plague Marines, actually. So I feel like that's a good win for Nick too.
Yeah, well done, Nick. That's a tough team, I can imagine, especially for like Rekkas.
Yeah, and Nick was kind of just, I think Shayla was like castling a little bit, and Nick didn't know what to do. And I don't think Nick, again, because this is now, at this point it's Nick's 5th game in the entire edition, Nick didn't understand that you could actually like door fight. He thought you had to like, because he was thinking that if you door fought, they got to fight first, but it's not door fighting, it's fighting over the wall, which we clarified later on. So now he knows that you can actually door fight. So, but he beat Shayla, so he went 3-1. I went 2-2. I feel like my 2 losses were by 4 points total, so it was pretty good, especially with Commandos, which are, I feel like, a bigger brain team for me normally, because I'm not a big brain guy at all, and I didn't have a ton of games in with them, but I played them a little bit. So
well, I'm proud of you overall, buddy. Well done. So you guys finished the team, like the 2 of you together, 3-1. Then it looks like.
Well, I mean, technically we were like 4-0 because of how the weird team tournament scoring goes. We still got like full team points.
Hey, hell yeah!
Because we only lost to Nick and Holly by 1 point essentially, so it still gave us 3 tournament points in some weird world. So weird. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, hey, congratulations, 3-1 or 4-0 technically, but looking at BCP, that's nothing to scoff at, either one of those scores. So well done to you two.
Yeah, I do have to mention too that Nick with 1 tournament under his belt with Rekkas is top 300 in the entire United States in kill team. So
hell yeah, Nick, let's go, buddy! I can't wait to see you top 30.
I'm actually I'm top 30, but
are you really?
Sean is top 10 right now. He's number 10. So
yeah, if you look at the placings, it's kind of weird because if you look at the rankings, like I think I have 4 tournaments or something, because that's something for those who don't know. They announced this last week that they were changing how ITC works. So ITC used to start the day after LVO for the ITC season, and it used to run through LVO. Well, now they're changing it, and it's actually going to run from the day after Worlds, which is in November usually, not January like LVO, to Worlds. So, but they backdated it, so any tournaments you played since Worlds actually count towards your 2025 rankings. So yeah, I'm actually like 30th in the US right now.
Well done. And yeah, like Tyler said, Sean's number 10 it seems. So well done to Sean. That's sick, bro.
Yeah, it's a weird, like, Cats is 5th in the US.
Let's go
without even really trying. So
we're always in the top. I think we finished like 3rd in the US last year.
Yeah.
So
I'm actually 29th in the US. It's kind of funny to me.
You're just that good.
Yeah, I
Tyler,
mean,
you guys
yeah,
just fought Mr. Number 10 himself round 3. So what was round 4 like for you guys?
So we played. What was it? I played against Owen. He was playing Void Dancers. And that was an incredible game. Came down from the sound area, I believe, and I ended up winning that. I got the initiative where I needed it. Made a couple rolls, and came out on top. I believe he was playing with who was it?
He was playing with Eric, yeah. Both
Yeah,
Owen
Eric.
and Eric, good friends of mine.
Yeah, he was playing Ratlings. And Brandon won that one. I think he just again initiative and stuff like that. But both wonderful opponents. We had a great time playing against both of them, and then games were over and went out for drinks almost immediately after.
Nice. So yeah, it looks like then for the final scoring, it looks like Mr. Sean and Chuck, or sorry, Sean and why can I not do names? Josh. There we go. They finished first place. So well done to Jimmy Eats World. Another great name. Do you guys know why they went with that name? Like I know the band, but
I
Probably the band.
have no idea.
oh, okay. I was curious if maybe they explained it because I'll have to message him and ask. Then looks like second place we had Team Zero Shooting. So well done to them. Now I'm trying to Chris and
Chris
Ryan. There we go. Why can't PCP be nicer and just tell me directly on the team? And then at third place, yeah, bye round, Chuck and Nick. Well done to Chuck. Or sorry, well done to Nick. Chuck, you did all right.
They did all right. I mean, honestly, Nick carried the team, so
He did. You're terrible.
without sure Nick, none of this would be possible. So I'd like to thank Nick.
Yeah, as you should. He carried your terrible kill team ass. You never even got second place at one of the biggest events. You're terrible. I'm just a mean person. I don't know why I'm still doing this. I just feel bad now. I'm sorry. I don't got this dog in me. I don't know how you can be mean like this.
It doesn't take much, actually. I think it's 27 years in like retail experience that
That's fair. I only have like 4.
has like the hardened my heart and let me lay into people that I care about and love.
Poor Jenna, poor Indy.
Yeah, I mean, Jenna. I feed Jenna. Okay, that's what she gets. I feed Jenna, so she has to take my shit. So
We learned that the way to Jenna's heart is through her stomach.
The way to 100%. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So actually, one tournament highlight that I have, well, kind of highlight / low light for my opponent. My first round against Colton, I charged in my bomb squig, and I blew up. I think I killed at least a scorpion. I think I damaged another scorpion because he was playing Blades of Cain. When I rolled on the bomb squig shooting himself, I rolled 5 1s and a 3. So the bomb squig didn't even hit himself.
That's incredible.
You'll love to see it. I saw a very cool kit bash someone did for that, where if the bomb squig somehow survives, they magnetize the little like grenade head in the mouth so they can just take it off. And that's a great idea because apparently bomb squid survive blowing themselves up all the time. I've seen it like 3 times now.
I mean, I had multiple bomb squigs survive this weekend. I know Nick had at least a couple bomb squigs survive. I mean, because they still get 3 saves. They don't die automatically, and if you're only rolling on 1 or 2 dice against yourself, maybe you kind of whiff your hit roll and you get a 5 or so, they can live on a wound. And actually on Rekka Crew, they can even get healed too.
Yeah.
So
no,
yeah.
You know what I want to do now? Just with all the bomb squigs that exist in this game, I want to do one of those like PvE or whatever, the co-op modes where you're just fighting an endless swarm of bomb squigs.
I think that sounds incredible.
Yeah, like if you guys ever played Firefight in Halo, when like the bonus round it was all the exploding grunts with the plasma grenades like active on them, essentially that, and it's like maybe we'll do like a little competition between the fire teams, like which group of 2 can survive the most rounds against this like constantly ever increasing amount of bomb squigs.
Well, as Tyler mentioned, we after post tournament after we packed up, thank you again for Board for hosting us. We'll
Woo-hoo!
throw a link in the show description for them. They were also a huge they did a lot of our prize support, most of our prize support for CritCon as well too. And Tyler, we did something actually for prize support for this one, which was really different than we had done normally. And I think
Yeah.
it worked out great, and actually, I got some good feedback about it. So what we just let people go pick their own prizes and go shopping, and then we just paid for it right there, rather than us like giving them stuff. So I think we should try and implement that as much as we can going forward, rather
Yeah,
than like handing people a box.
where we can, for sure. I think it's a good fit for some tournaments. Especially when Bardboard's coming out and supporting us like that. When we have the support and ability to do that, I'm 100% down.
Yeah, it was cool because in like
Make
it's
sure
always good.
everyone's happy type thing.
Yeah, it's always good to get plastic, but also sometimes people get plastic and they, maybe it's not something that they can use or something they're really interested in. But it was like, so it was Holly actually won the bounty, and Holly, who won 14 boxes at Killscream too. Um,
Yeah,
Holly won
Board
the
Bard is
bounty
her new sponsor, essentially.
pretty much. And then Chris and Ryan were able to, they went and go, like, they were like kids in a candy shop, like going over to pick out their stuff rather than us just like handing them a box. So I think like we're viable, and it's not always going to be viable. Like the distillery one probably won't be viable because I don't think we're going to be able to get a store to come to the distillery. But no, I think it's something we look at more. Maybe it takes the form of gift cards, or maybe it takes the form of us just like, playing sugar daddy and buying people's plastic right there, which was fun. So
Yeah. Like again, where the deal's possible and the stores support us, we're happy to do that for y'all. Some of what makes it possible for us to be able to buy price support for the raffle and stuff like that is that the stores give us a good deal on stuff. So sometimes they get to pick stuff out and things like that. It is not always possible, but whenever possible, we want to give you guys as much of exactly what you want whenever we can.
yeah, I never turned down plastic either way. So even if it's something I wasn't like that wasn't on my list, I'm always excited to get it. So, but no, I think that was a nice little twist to the tournament. And then, like Tyler mentioned earlier, we went and did a little post game across the street. I don't even know what the name of the place was, but cool little bar
It's
actually.
cool little, yeah, it was real nice. They had an excellent selection of liquor there, and we barely got to choose because Cody and I had slipped over there before to have a drink, and then we brought everyone back over there, and we just ordered everyone the same thing, and Cody slipped away like an ethnic family member and paid for everyone's bill without telling anyone. You know,
Yeah, Cody, I love you, Cody, but quit paying for our stuff.
I mean,
Like
What a kind and annoying thing to do, because
absolutely.
we
Yeah,
got to
so,
get
yeah.
you back, buddy. You keep
Jeez,
doing it.
dude. No, he'll never let us get us back. I try.
He's
He's
just a
kind of,
great dude like that. So
yeah.
I wasn't even there, but
He's
thanks, Cody.
on it so
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah, we ended up having so it was me and Tyler, Nick, Cody, Sean Ross was there, Jimmy Spake, and then CB was there too.
Yeah.
So we got to hang out, and actually everybody that was there was super nice because we showed up and then we had about room for 4 people, and people just kind of pushed tables together for us, which was really cool. Because and then we started talking about like people's ball sacks getting cut out and stuff, and like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it
The
got,
last episode recap, basically in person. Come to our events so you can get that experience.
yeah, it got kind of wild actually. And yeah, like you said, that the I didn't even realize it until we got there, is that how many different like weird, or like the entire back wall, it's like something you would see in a movie of how much booze they had there and how many different stuff, like,
For
a-
sure.
and they were mixing it up too. It wasn't like it wasn't for show. They were bringing out a ladder like you'd see in a fancy like rich person's library to go up and get a bottle down to make something cool.
Yeah, it was really neat. Really good drinks too. I was extremely happy with everything I had there.
Nice. That sounds like a really cool place with a ladder.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the name of what it was called, because it was, and they were super nice too, because we just kind of like stumbled in there. We're like, "Hey, we're drinking," and they're like, "Okay, cool." Uh,
We'd kind of warned them that we were coming there. So
is it? Was it? Is it maybe no? That's there's a midwife actually in that area.
yeah,
If you didn't,
it's right next to the midwife.
it's just called Vintage Cocktail Lounge, I think, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
That sounds
that's it.
about right.
Vintage Cocktail Lounge in Monteville. If y'all ever down there, really killer fancy drinks, whatever they call them, and they were super nice, and they hosted us too. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really good time. It was good to be able to sit and drink with all your friends and commiserate about your bad dice rolls and um, state of the world and everything like that. So love you guys. It was amazing. CB, it was great to hang out with you outside of the tournament too. Great addition to the crew. Thanks for being part of it. So
Yeah, I don't know if CB. I don't know if CB's mentioned. CB's got big plans for Kill Team in this area. Actually,
yeah,
they were letting me know about like stores they've connected with and stuff that they want to do. They're looking at maybe Portland Game Store to try and get some
yeah.
stuff going on there too. So and I think they've only been in the Kill Team scene really since like October-ish, and they're turned into a great player and full steam ahead in Kill Team and like
Uh,
building the game in this area.
For sure, we love it. Thanks for supporting because really, it's like uh, the communities get in where you fit in. Make it happen. You know, we'll do what we can to support you. Just let us know. Reach out to us. We want to participate and make sure that the scene is vibrant and strong.
By the way, if you ever get a chance, like if you get an invite post tournament to go have a drink with Tyler, definitely go do it because you're gonna hear some wild shit in from Tyler's life that's happened that
Oh man,
like
it's something random. I've lived 10 lives.
It really does feel like that. Every time we mention even any topic in passing, Tyler will have some like crazy story related to it. It's a good time.
by the way, speaking of life moments, you mentioned that on Wednesday when we went out to Sandy that you got out there really fast and
Yeah.
you didn't get home as fast though. What happened, buddy?
I got pulled over. So I want to encourage y'all to practice small acts of defiance, which I like to do. I do little things that may or may not be legal, never major, but you gotta practice being bad. Be bad a little bit, just like a little bit, a little bad. So in case stuff goes really bad here, you're ready for it because it doesn't come naturally. Resistance is one of those things you have to train in your body and in your soul. So try it now. Just like do bad stuff, like little bad stuff. And the bad thing I did is not renew my registration. So cop pulled me over and he's like, "Hey, is this car stolen?" I was like, "Nah, I've just been lazy about it. I'm gonna go get it renewed next week, which is this week, and I'm gonna go in this week. I think that for sure, and get my registration renewed."
Yeah, I was so coming back from Sandy is almost coming off Mount Hood, and I'd actually brought Indy out with me because I didn't want to leave him home all night by himself as we went out there, and he did dog things, and by dog things I mean he made a duty, and I didn't wasn't going to leave it there, so I had it in my car, and so I propped across the street to find a garbage can so it wasn't sitting in my car the entire time. So I was a little behind Tyler, but like I called Jenna on the way back and was just chatting with her, and I'm driving down Highway 30. Is it 30 out there? I don't know. Anyways, um,
Mm-hmm.
and I see a car that fits the description. And Tyler's pulled over on the side of the road with a cop behind him, and I'm like, I think that might be Tyler, and but it didn't look like you in the car. Do you drive with a wig on? Like, because I swear to God, it was like long black hair,
I mean, you do what you got to. Maybe I actually have long black hair.
and you just wear a
I wear a
shaved head
bald
cap.
cap. Yeah, it's really good. I'm really good at applying it, you guys.
Yeah, but so then after I got the phone with Jen, I text Tyler and I was like, hey, like did you get pulled over? And he's like, yeah,
Yeah. No,
registration's expired.
no ticket though. So that's the fourth time I've been pulled over and gotten out of a ticket recently. Like not recently, over the last couple of years. So, pretty good track record.
Yeah, so yeah, Tyler's just batting his eyes at cops to get out of he's
You do
a
what you
cab
gotta.
a cab until you're trying to get out of a ticket.
I mean, you do what you gotta do. Resistance is resistance until it's not.
Well done, Tyler.
But yeah, got out of it. it was good. I'm so glad that I didn't get a ticket because that would have made my night way worse. He's like, I could arrest you. And I was like, yeah, like, but like, are you going to, like
What a
over this,
dickhead move to do. Like,
please?
you're gonna arrest someone over expired tickets. What a bum.
Well, it's that little piece of power from being slighted in high school that will never go away.
Absolutely. Like you gotta retain that power. You gotta let them know who's in charge. Like, don't let the citizens get one up on you. Like, let them know that you can arrest them anytime for forgetting to renew their registration on purpose.
Yeah. So, well, gentlemen, it's about that time. Thanks for joining us. I'd like to thank our Patreons. So, Jenna, Cody, Sam. Also, Sam, thank you so much. I sent him a text, but Sam had been collecting beer for me, and when I played him at the Coast a couple weekends ago, actually brought me like a couple special beers, including one that's from Fort George, which is my favorite brewery, and it was like I took a picture. We'll put it on the Instagram, but it's actually the place where Sam works. He works for like a nonprofit in Astoria, and it's actually kind of themed by that. So thank you, Sam. Delicious beer, and I hope to see you soon. We can get another game in. Sean Ross, my buddy Nick, Hollygram, Zaren's gonna have to go up another tier.
Oh yeah, hopefully
Greg.
this was a great podcast because he was giving me shit for missing Grant's night tonight. So thanks, Aaron. Love you, buddy.
Oh, what's going on tonight?
Oh, this every once in a while, Grant will throw like an impromptu hangout at his place. Most of the time, we'll do it Wednesdays, but recently Tuesdays have been working better for everyone, which just means I can't make it if we do it on Tuesday night.
Well, Connor, you can always be like, "Hey, stuff's going on."
I mean, I
Can we push
could, but it was
stuff
just
tonight?
today. It was like he started organizing today, so I was just like, it's okay, I'll miss tonight.
So, real quick, Sierra couldn't drop you off. Is that what it was?
No, I'm allowed to bring the car. I'm a big boy, but
I love how Tyler just starts coughing, like laugh coughing, and then mutes his microphone. So.
Yeah, it's a good time. But no, I was just I wanted to record and get some painting and building of models done tonight.
So you were just being antisocial. So you were actually like using us as an excuse not to go to the event. Is what I'm hearing.
Sure, I guess you could say that.
It just triggers my asthma, like when I get that that deep cough from a really absurd lie.
Is it the asthma or is it all of the bong rips? Is it asthma or resin?
Little column A, little column B.
I mean, like, aren't they the same thing?
Little column A, little column BONG.
I thought I thought that was just like the like polite name for it.
Well, Greg, the judge himself, Rob McLeod, the inventor of Sweat Court. By the way, if you haven't had a chance if you got to this episode and haven't listened to Sweat Court, go back and listen to it last week. It was a great
time.
I think it was one of our best all times.
Also, we understand zero how the judicial system works because I, as the bailiff, I objected to something. You guys were like,
I think that's allowed. I've been listening to a lot of crime books, and you can do whatever if you want, as long as the judge makes it okay.
Pretty much. Zach, let's see, Scott. We have Ace and Morgan on there for free, and Keaton. Keaton's Patreon now, so appreciate that.
Let's go, Keaton.
Thanks, Ace. Also, like, is that Ace? Like, Ace?
No, Ace Mullen.
I mean, we don't. Ace. Thank you, though. Like,
thank you, everyone.
Yeah. So Connor, you said you have some Patreon content you're going to be putting up.
Yes, I'm going to be doing like a little, probably weekly or maybe bi-weekly series just on Patreon for now of Connor's prep for Adepticon, and just essentially just me putting down thoughts, and you get to look at my models and the little bit of paint recipes I'm doing. I don't really have much more of a plan than that, other than just like, hey, here's something, so you get a little extra.
Have you actually been posting anything yet?
Not on the Patreon, no. This will be the first one. So if you're listening to it, it should be up by then. And if it's not, I suck.
Well, you better be up by then, man.
Yeah, it'll be.
You do suck still. Patreon.com/Vox Cascadia podcast is where you can find it. I actually had an idea for a Patreon thing. I was thinking, so I finished my Vespids up.
Nice.
Well, I finished my Recas. Then I just painted the Vespids because I needed something to work on because I'm always trying to work on something. Finish the Vespids. I've been working on like a Felgor Ravager leader, whatever the hell they are.
Gnarl
What
Scar.
Gnarl Scars out there.
I don't know.
Just
Ironhorn.
picking it. Iron. What are they called, Tyler? What's the leader of the?
I think it's Gnarlscar.
Picking at one of those, but I need a new team to work on or something to work on. I was actually thinking about potentially starting to paint some Marvel Crisis Protocol. Don't you?
It is Ironhorn.
Ironhorn.
But Marvel.
I was thinking about doing Marvel, but I was also thinking about just putting up a couple teams to the Patreons and letting them vote and choose which team they wanted me to paint up. So
you should do a Warp Coven with one sorcerer and like 11 goats or whatever it would be.
It's going to be essentially teams that I already have.
No, it should be that. I can give you the goats.
Aquilons, it could be Star Striders, it could be.
Do you have a Vedgar team?
Is this going to be like box art? Do we get to vote on like painting style?
No, we're going to
push you. No, we get to push you out of your regular scheduled programming.
Maybe we could do that. I'm not going to do like
listen,
wild.
I'll paint something with acrylics, and you paint something that's not box art.
I gotta download that or save that image. David, good old Dorat David, posted a fantastic image. Did you happen to see it, Chuck, of the oil painting thing?
Get in, loser. We're going oil.
Oh, painting. I did actually. I sent that to Nick today. Nick's like, "Why am I shotgun?"
I mean, like clearly I should be shotgun. So
right. So yeah, so we'll have some stuff coming up with the Patreons again. We so appreciate your support. It this isn't free. Our time is, but yeah, it's helping us keep the lights on, and yeah, we'll continue to add to it too. So
yeah, absolutely.
Patreon,
we appreciate you guys. It's wonderful hanging out with you guys. It's like hanging out with our friends, over the internet in different ways.
Yeah. So if there's anything you would like to hear from us, or you have any feedback on the show, let us know. If you can, share the show with someone else, someone that you kind of like maybe or don't hate.
This week, send it to whoever was your Valentine.
Maybe someone you hate too, but like you think it like could use this in their life. They could use a little positivity and tabletop wargaming to improve their general mood and personality.
There you go. So patreon.com/Vox Cascadia podcast. Dicer.bigcartel is the shirt guy. That's Tyler. It's funny because every time I see one of those shirts, I'm like, oh, it's a cool shirt. Like,
we should keep a track of how many we see at Adepticon.
Yeah. Also, got a date finally for the Kill Team shirts. So they've cleared out their queue and they're up to print. They should be here on the 14th approximately. So they'll be shipping shortly after that. If you've been waiting, thank you for all your patience. The legalized drugs and murder are going out shortly after that. I'm just going to be closing orders and sending that off to print. So if you haven't got one of those, it's your last chance. Those are never coming back.
And then @Spanaway on everything.
Yep, and still sound exactly like that.
@Vox Cascadia on Instagram. I'm @Painting Cave Minis. Come find us on Discord. We'll put a bunch of links in the show notes. Again, thank you so much to Curtis and Liz and Scott from Board Bard for hosting us this past weekend. It was super fun. And actually, it was a really, like, just we can do 24 players there. And it was a really cool area. Just a cool part of town to do it in.
Hell yeah, that's great. Oh, you got your Blood Angels short pad too.
I did, actually, yeah.
Yeah, you actually posted, so well done.
I did. There was actually a lot of like plastic changing hands this weekend. So Nick brought down from Connor, brought me a Terminator shoulder pad for my Angels of Death captain, who's going to be a Terminator because Terminator should be in Kill Team.
Ooh,
and
yes.
Then a couple weeks ago, I met a guy at Mindtaker to hand off a Space Marine Phobos Lieutenant. So I could give that to Eric, so Eric could then take that back up to give to Zarin.
Nice.
So yeah, it's like the plastic pipeline that we have going on here in the Northwest.
Yeah, and then some guy came in looking for Sean to trade some stuff, and then you were giving stuff to Josh.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, so it was like, just deals going down. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Yeah, have a good night.
Yeah, thanks for supporting us. Thanks for everybody who came out this minute. Oh, thank you so much to Matt Small, head TO for the tournament, or head judge for the tournament. And thank you so much for Cody, who was the
For
bounty
sure.
guy. So
Mm-hmm.
more than just paying for our dinner,
He,
our drinks.
he
He
collected
then
the money for the charities, which is we raised $250 ish for Portland Street Team. So
yeah.
awesome. That's gonna go directly to help people. So
Yeah, so we really appreciate everybody who showed up. We appreciate everybody who supported us. Jeremy Spake brought two amazing boards. He had an amazing Volcus board, an amazing Into the Dark board with an actual like physical mat for it rather than the fold out mat, which was awesome. Um, yeah, everybody who helped us clean up. Oh, I was going to tell you guys too, actually. So Saturday, we played 4 games of Kill Team. We went out later afterwards, but Sunday morning, Nick and I went to Mind Taker, which is right up the street from me, and we walk in at like 11 o'clock, and Brandon Ramo and Chris Sharp are sitting there playing Kill Team again. I'm like,
I
what the?
saw that they fucking posted. I was like, wait, did you guys play this last night? I was so confused. Way to go, guys.
Hell yeah.
That's commitment. I barely got off the couch Sunday.
Like, y'all got a problem. Like, put the dice down. Step away from the board.
They're not the ones with a podcast. If anything, they're healthier than us.
Get some help. Like that fucking Michael Jackson clip. Stick that in here.
Yeah, we'll have to. I'll see if we can find that and edit it in. We didn't get a copyright strike for the.
Shh, don't jinx
the
it.
stuff
Don't jinx
last
it.
week.
Don't jinx it.
It's parody. It works.
It's parody. So
We love you. Free use.
yeah. Well, have a great night, everybody. Connor, you want to do the AdMech corner real quick?
Are you gonna cut me off or are you gonna let me do one for real? Because I'll have to come up with something.